Hello and welcome into another video on this channel. So today we'll be further exploring AWS ecosystem, and today we will talk about EFS, which is Elastic File System in AWS. We will hop into EC2 console, create such volume, and then mount it to two EC2 instances, and we will be able to see how we can share files between them using EFS. So let's hop into AWS console and work on that. Alright, so we are already logged into our AWS console, and let's firstly navigate to EFS, so Elastic File System. And we will do create file system, and as you can see, it's a very straightforward process at the beginning. So we just need to give name, which is optional. So let's do an EFS volume and only the VPC in which we want to deploy this. So we will click create. It will already start creating a file system. And as you can see, we weren't asked at the beginning about the volume type that we want to create, about the volume size that we want to create, because actually EFS shrinks and grows as you use it. So we don't need to say at the beginning, okay, I want 8 gigs or 10 gigs. You can just make it dynamic. And as you can see, our volume is already created. And here are some basic details. Here will be the size that we are using, but as I mentioned, it's already dynamic, so that's why it's only 6 kilobytes. It has a lifecycle management by default, that there are some transitions being made, because actually EFS will be a little bit more expensive than EBS. I think it will be around 2 to 3 times more expensive, but it also depends on the lifecycle management and so on. But from the size perspective, you are only paying for what you are actually using. So we will go here to the network tab for a moment, and we will see that it is being deployed in all of the availability zones in our VPC, and there will be a security group connected, because this is a network file system. It's using NFS protocol in the background, so that's why we also need to think about the security groups, and that is actually something that we will modify to have access to it. So let's navigate to EC2 right now, and we will go to instances, and we will launch 2 instances of, let's say, briefly, EC2. We will use Amazon Linux by default. We will take T2 Micro. We will proceed without the keeper because we will be using EC2 Instance Connect. We will take it auto assign public IP. We can leave it. That doesn't matter for today. We will do allow SSH traffic from anywhere, create security group, a special security group that will actually modify a little bit, and we will take 8 gigs of storage and take 2 of such instances. So those instances will start to launch right now, and we'll navigate to instances and go to security groups and modify it a little bit. So this is the default one that actually right now EFS has attached. So if we'll go to inbound rules, we will see that it allows all traffic on all port and protocols from the default security groups. But our EC2 instance right now is in a different security group, so it doesn't go through this rule. So we will take this security group. You will also see what you need to modify and how you can make permissions to allow for the flow of this traffic. So we will take this security group, which is actually right now attached to EC2. We'll edit this inbound rule, and as you can see, for now we allow for SSH from anywhere, but we will add one another rule for in NFS. It will be on port 2049, and we will allow for a source from this particular security group. So we will contain the traffic flow for this NFS inside this particular security group in which those EC2 instances are deployed. So we will save this rule. And now we need to get back to our EFS and go to this network tab and to manage. And in all those availability zones, we will attach also this security group of EC2 instance. Let's do that. Let's click Save. And now they are in the same security group as EC2 instance, so it should allow for the connection. Let's now use this. There is a beautiful button here called Attached. It gives us already an options and the created shell command. So let's get back to EC2. There should be already spinned up. And we'll go to here, and connect to those two instances. So this is first instance, and this will be the second one. The first one is connected. The second one is also connected. So firstly, in both of them, let's create ourselves a directory in MNT. Let's call it EFS. And let's do the same here, sudo mkdir mnt/EFS. Let's go in one of them to this folder. As we can see, the folder is created here. So let's navigate back to EFS and let's try to use one of those commands. So this is using the EFS mount helper, and we will use it and we will see if it will work. So let's go here. We will change the mount point to mnt/EFS, though all the FSAD is already here. So let's try to use it. As you can see, unknown file system type EFS. So it is using an EFS helper, but you need to install this EFS helper as a package. So for it to work, we need to install Amazon helper package. So we will do sudo yum install -y to not confirm anything, and the package is called Amazon EFS utils. So we will install it. It didn't take too long, and now let's try to run it one more time. And it should be done. Let's do df-h. We can see that we have a volume mounted in our mount EFS, and let's go to it. Let's go here, and as you can see, it's running. So let's maybe create a file here. Let's do sudo maybe hello txt sudo touch, and we can see we have a file here. We can also modify it using nano vim or whatever, or we could use echo and pipe it also to this hello txt, but let's modify it with a sudo, and maybe let's take the IP address of this instance and let's maybe echo that to this file, or maybe let's still modify it using here. So we'll see here hello from EC2, and let's copy it here and let's save it, and we have on this EFS file system a file called hello.txt, and it gets hello from EC2 instance. So let's go to the second instance and let's try the second one, because this is using the NFS clients. Let's see if it will work. So let's change this mount point to mount EFS, and here you can see it worked without installing another package, because it is using from the system, from the OS level, things that are already installed there, and we can do df-h. We can see that it's installed, and let's go to this EFS volume, and we should see here our hello txt, which differs in the instance ID. So we can see that we have a file sharing working between two different instances, and right now we have this EFS volume attached, but it will not persist through the reboot or shutdown of the instances. So to make it more permanent, we can use etc fstab and just mount it as all the other regular volumes using those file IDs. So that will be all for today. I think you can see that it is something that you can possibly use in the future in AWS environment to share the files between the instances using EFS volume, or maybe you can use S3 to share those files as you wish. But as you can see, this is one of the possibilities that you can use. So this will be all for today. I hope you learned something new. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel for more of such content. And if you would like to know more on a particular subject, let me know down in the comments and I will try to make a video for you on that. So see ya in another one.